Good evening and welcome. Say hello if you're there. Just pop it in the comments, or if you're watching this on replay, do a little hashtag replay. Let me get rid of my gross cough there. How are you all today? I hope you're having a good week. Now, today, Wellness Wednesday, I thought it was really, really important to be talking about navigating more you time and finding that balance. Now, let me just move my board back so you can see it a little bit better. But let me know if you are there. Let me know in the comments. I am doing this off StreamYard today. And how can I see the comments on here, Will? Comments. Ah, there's a button for it. How great is that? So great. Now, let me know if you struggle with finding that me time, or maybe even justifying that me time. Just say, yep, me, absolutely. Let me know. Let me know if that is you, because it's so common. It really is. And do you know what? It's so important to be filling up your cup. Do you find that, particularly, I feel like as women, we're juggling so many things, so many responsibilities, and that's work. It might be home life. There's so much going on in home life. It might be the kids. It might be doing things for your partner. You might be a carer. It might be grandkids. And you're juggling so many responsibilities and so many different things that you just really struggle to fit you in. Maybe you feel a bit of a pressure. Maybe you feel a pressure to be the perfect sister, the perfect daughter, the perfect colleague, the perfect partner, the perfect mum, or the perfect grandma. And you've just got all this pressure on you to do all these things and to be everything for everyone that you end up kind of losing yourself in the process. Rebecca, I really struggle with a partner that does shifts and a 6-year-old with ADHD. So you really struggle to find that. Where do you fit into that when you've got to be juggling your partner's time and your time and your child as well that needs your attention, and even more so than ever? Yes, absolutely. And you are not on your own. You're really, really not on your own. I think there's quite a lot of mum guilt that goes into it as well. And this is definitely a lot of what I see anyway, a lot of what I see when people first join us in the squad. That mum guilt that kind of almost feels selfish to be spending time on you when you feel like your priorities should be the kids, or getting the dinner out, or taking the kids to football and making sure they've had food before they get there, doing all the clubs. And where do you fit into all this? By the time you've made dinner, you've washed up, you've driven to football or dancing or drama, you've come back, then the house is a tip, and you're putting everything away. And by the way, work's ringing and someone else is calling you, and you've got 10 WhatsApp messages you've not read yet. And you just think like, oh my gosh, I don't even have time for me. That I'm done. All I'm thinking about is when I'm going to bed now. If that is anyone, let me know. Life is ridiculously busy. But what's really important is to be making sure you're carving out that you time. Because if you don't, it's going to lead to a few things. It can lead to burnout, and it can also lead to resentment, where you are resenting certain things or even sometimes certain people. And you just feel rubbish, like just so rubbish and tired and energyless. And like you've just really lost that zest and that almost sparkle in your eyes, because you're so busy putting everything and everyone else before you. So I've written just a few things down here, some of which I've already talked about. Like, are you prioritizing work? Are you trying to be perfect at absolutely everything? Do you feel a bit of a pressure from, oh, Rebecca, you're not alone. Trust me, you're not alone in this. Do you feel a bit of pressure from social standards, or just like cultural pressure from what other people are doing? Are you in any WhatsApp groups with, say, other mums, and everyone's talking about what they're going to be helping their kid make for, I don't know, the play, or what they've got to take into show and tell? Or are you in different WhatsApp groups with maybe your colleagues, and you're seeing what they're doing and you're thinking, oh gosh, and you feel that pressure that you need to perform more, you need to do more. So therefore work or family life is coming before you. and your time and your well-being, because you're feeling all these outside pressures from everything and everyone else. Let me know if that's you, and let me know if you've got any examples of where that might have happened to you recently. And I have actually got a few friends that are in different WhatsApp groups for mums, and there's some mums in there that are fully career driven and they don't have time to kind of, it's almost like helping out with what the kids have got to take in for their homework, or the painting that they need help with, or something like that. And then some other mums have got so just like the best, or they've helped them make the best painting, or they brought the best thing in for show and tell. And I've got some friends that feel like I just don't have time. I don't know how I'm going to do it all. I don't have time to work out tonight because I need to help so and so with this and that. Anyway, let me know if you feel that pressure. Now, a lack of maybe support. So particularly, like Rebecca, you said your partner is working shifts. Of course he's there to support, but when he's on shift, how are you going to then work on you when there's no one else to be there for your child? Is it a lack of time? Are you really, really struggling for time from all angles? So you just can't prioritize you. So it's not the fact maybe that you're trying to be perfect at everything, but it's just the fact that you are so busy. You are so busy and there just aren't enough hours in the day. And actually you just wish there were about 4 of you. Or is it an overcommitment? Do you find that you are saying yes to everything because you're trying to be there for everyone and everything, that you're saying yes to things that maybe you probably shouldn't? Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. And this is the thing. The thing is, when you overcommit and you're just trying to overperform in every other aspect of your life, who comes last? You. Again, you come last. You come to the bottom of the pile. So what can we do about it so that we don't lead to either burnout or just resentment or having no energy or just feeling absolutely rubbish and kind of down all the time? How do we carve out this time? And that is why I'm here to tell you exactly what you need to be doing now. So have you got pen and paper? If you've not got a pen and paper, if you're not a pen and paper person, that's cool, that's fine. Grab your phone because I'd like you to write some notes here. So step number 1, I'm going to do it in 4 steps here. Step number 1, I'd like you to, and actually if you could just pop this in the comments, identify your needs. Like, what is going to fill up your cup? What do you like doing that quite literally gives you energy? Is it a workout? Is it a workout online? Is it meditation? Is it going on a walk? Is it having a bath? Is it putting the music on the kitchen full blast and having a dance? Is it baking? Is it reading? What is it? What is it that you like doing that gives you energy back? Like me, for example, I love having a bath. I haven't had, this sounds really weird, but I'm always so used to having showers because I'm like, right, okay, I need to get the shower done because then I'm thinking about this and doing something else. And actually, a bath just makes me stop and relax. And that's something that I've tried more recently. I know it sounds crazy. I used to do it a lot when I was younger. Tried more recently because Will actually challenged me. He said, I think you should do something different for your self-care and your well-being. Why didn't he challenge me for a week? Do something different other than like fitness or that style of thing that is going to fill up your cup. So I said, okay then. I actually had a bath, and the first time I struggled. I was like, oh, what am I going to do here? What am I going to do here? Twiddling my thumbs. And then actually I just really enjoyed the fact that you had to stop. And that was my me time. I didn't manage the whole half hour, but do you know what I mean? It's that time. It's dedicating that time. Reading, Lindsay, reading. Oh, what are you reading at the moment? I'd love to know. This is definitely something I could get behind. And do you like to do that during the day, or do you do that before you go to bed as like a wind down thing, or at the weekend? Will, wish all men were like this. I challenged him as well. I challenged him to a workout challenge. Yeah, I know. He's a good egg, isn't he? He is a good egg. So what fills up your cup? Write down 3 things. 3 things that fill up your cup. For me personally, it's having a bath, it's going on a walk in nature, and it is doing fitness. I love teaching my classes. That massively fills up my cup. And I love doing fitness. It fills up my cup. They're my 3 things. My 3 things at the moment. tender isn't the fresh. I like to read in the evening so I don't doom scroll. That is such a good idea because it can be dangerous, can't it? I think we've all been there. I think we're all guilty for it, but that is such a good idea. I don't know if this is a thing as well. It might not be, but I did hear it somewhere that when you read, it kind of mimics what your eyes are doing when you go into that REM sleep, which is the rapid eye movement sleep. It's one of the deep levels of sleep, and it's where you get that cognitive function. What's the word I'm looking for? I say rebirth. It's not a rebirth. Renewal, where your brain basically, it renews itself. That's not the word that I'm looking for, but you know what I mean. REM sleep, because when you're looking and you're reading from side to side, it can mimic it. So maybe help you get to sleep or get into a deep sleep. I don't know if it's true, but it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? It definitely makes me feel tired if I read before I go to bed. And if you're doom scrolling, it definitely doesn't, especially with the blue light as well. And the fact that it's that dopamine hit just before you go to bed, isn't it? It doesn't affect some people so much. Like some people will, for example, he could be playing a video game before he goes to bed. But if I did that, I'd be wide awake. So great idea. So write down 3 things. What fills up your cup? Number 2, how are you going to overcome these barriers? What are your barriers? Is it the fact that you don't have much time? Is it the fact that you feel really guilty and feel a bit selfish for spending time on you? And then you need to start questioning that. If that is you, you need to start questioning it. Because when you fill up your cup, you show up as a better person for you, for your partner, for your kids, at work, and you'll just radiate this new energy. So you need to start questioning that if that is you. So what are your barriers? What is stopping you from working on you right now? If it's prioritizing work, be thinking about how you could be working and actually how much more productive and happy you'd be if you made sure that you filled up your cup too. What are your barriers? Write them down and then think about how you can overcome them. Like, for example, if I've put number 3 here as pockets of time, because I think for the majority of people, we are so busy. And I mean, that is the title of this of this whole live workshop. The fact that we are navigating that me time in a really busy world, whether that's if you're just so busy with so many responsibilities, or you've got that one big thing that you're always working on, like work. You might be really passionate about it, or you might be going for a promotion or something, and you're spending all your time on that. Or it might be family life, and you've got so many responsibilities in family life. You might be a carer, you might have kids that, need your attention, and partners and everything going on. So where can we find pockets of time? Where can you find a pocket of time in your day? And it's no good saying, I don't have any time. And it's all right saying as well that, we've all got the same 24 hours. Everyone has different responsibilities and everyone prioritizes their time a little bit differently. And what we need to do is shift the priorities so that you come into it. What do they say on an airplane? You need to fit your own mask before fitting anyone else's. Because if you don't fit your own oxygen mask, how do you expect to help anybody else? You just can't do it. So it's about shifting your priorities and working out, okay, well, if I want to be healthy and I want to live a long and healthy life, then I'm going to have to make myself a priority. And I think a lot of people say that, or a lot of people think that doing fitness and fitting in me time and well-being time is like a luxury. It's something that comes second. But in actual fact, if you don't prioritize your health, your fitness, and your well-being, you're basically sending yourself to an early grave, and no one wants to do that. So here's me telling you some harsh truths right now that I'm sure you know are true. So whether you like it or not, you need to find that time. It's non-negotiable. It's so important. Physical, emotional, mental well-being for you if you want to live a long, good quality, healthy, happy life. You've got to be doing this. So where can you find those pockets of time in your day? Could it be that you get up 15 minutes earlier and that's going to be your you time? Could it be that you slot it into a lunch break and you make sure you take a lunch break? That's your you time. Or is it just before you go to bed? Yeah, like reading a book, that wind down time. When is that you time? Where are you going to fit this in? Make it a priority. Now, here's the action. This is what I'd like you to do. And I don't want you to do all of this in one go, because that it's just not going to happen. I listened to, I forgot which podcast it was now. I'm always listening to podcasts. That's something that I really like to do. And for me, that's an example of me time. I love, and this won't be for everyone, but it is for me. I love doing things for personal development, and I love to listen to podcasts. I absolutely love to listen to them and learn new things. In this particular one, they said no more than two things at a time, two new things at a time, because the brain just can't process it and it just sets us up for failure. So I'm going to give you a few things and I'd like you to pick two. By all means, you can write some more down, but what I'd like you to do is pick two and try them for 30 days. And then you can try the other ones a little bit later, but you need to try something to know if it's going to work, right? So make a list. Make a list of all the things that fill up your cup. What we want is to build this toolkit. So it can be some of the things that we spoke about earlier. You may have already jotted a few things down, like I said earlier, but just make a list. Let's say 8 to 10 things. 8 to 10 things that fill up your cup, that make you happy, that are to do with health, well-being, taking time out, self-care. Then I'd like you to pick two of them to try, two of them to do for the next 30 days. And I'm going to give you some other little examples as well. So that could be your two things if you want to, or you could do this. 3 little tips here. Oh, I kind of want you to do another one. Okay. Do 2 things at a time. 2 things at a time, Lorna. These are really, really good though. If you are feeling really overwhelmed in the moment, can you do a 5-minute rule? A 5-minute rule where you do one of those things from the toolkit that you can do. That might be going outside for a walk. It might be going and doing something else, reading a book for 5 minutes. 5-minute rule when you're feeling overwhelmed, because no one is productive, no one is happy when we're so stressed. And sometimes you can't think rationally. So it's just good to take 5 minutes, whatever that is. It might be 5-minute meditation, 5-minute stretch, 5-minute rule when you're feeling overwhelmed. There's one thing. Number 2, we're carving out that me time. If you feel like you need a tiny, tiny pocket of time in your day, because again, you might feel overwhelmed, you might feel so busy, and you might feel stressed. You know that level of stress where you're holding your shoulders up and you don't actually realize you're doing it until someone's like, whoa, relax. Or that level of stress where you can just feel the tension, or you feel almost tight around your chest, or you're breathing from your chest, or you're starting to get a headache, or you can't think straight. You feel like you've got so many things going on at the same time. And you might think, I'm not doing 5 minutes. I've got 5 minutes. Don't take 5 minutes then. Just do a few box breaths. Breathe in for 4. Hold for 4. Breathe out for 4. And hold for 4. And make sure you count it. Do, I'd say, at least 5 of them. And if you're thinking, Lorna, I can't take that time out of my day. Well, if you can't take 60 seconds out to breathe, then what's the world coming to? We've got to rationalize it. We've got to put it into context here. Just doing that will make you feel a million times better. And that's such a simple way of taking 60 seconds out of your day for a little bit of me time, a little bit of a breath. One other thing to do is a mindful moment. And the one that I like to do is make yourself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and have a mindful moment. For example, you've made your coffee, you're standing, looking out the kitchen window, you're smelling your coffee, you're tasting your coffee, you're enjoying the warmth of the coffee in your hands. as you drink it around your lips, you're looking out into the garden or wherever you're looking out onto, and just taking 2 minutes, 2 minutes to have a mindful moment and think about your surroundings, think about your coffee, watch the steam come up out of the cup. And I promise you, you'll feel a million times better just by taking 2 minutes. 2 minutes for a mindful moment. And that is a really easy way. If you're thinking, oh, Lorna, mindfulness is a bit hippie, that's not. That's taking 2 minutes out of your day to think about what you're doing and having a nice cuppa and enjoying it. That's all that is. And shutting everything else out just for a moment. Now, one thing that I tell all of my squaddies to do, which is what you'll know, is what? It's what? It is plan. Plan for the week ahead. Failing to plan is planning to fail. So what I always do, and I do this myself, I actually have, this is my very own workout diary right here. I schedule out the time. And this is what you need to do. You need to schedule out those pockets of time for that me time, those me moments. And I just gave you some emergency ones like to do in the moment. If you just need that, whoa, just need some me time right now. The box breath, the mindful moment with the cup of tea, and the 5-minute rule. They're just some examples. But what you need to do realistically moving forwards is carve out that time. Get your diary, look at it. Where am I going to do, for example, fitness? Where am I going to do my workouts? And if you're somebody whose day just absolutely runs away with them, like you've got so many responsibilities and before you know it, it's 7 o'clock, you're just making tea. The last thing you're going to think about is putting your workout kit on and doing a workout. The best thing you can do is, I would say, do it in the morning, even if you're not a morning person. So what? So what? Pull on your big girl panties, get it done, and then it's done. And then you know you've done it. It's non-negotiable. Everyone must do some physical activity if you want to be healthy. If you don't want to be healthy, fine. But I really hope you do. Watching this, I know that you have an interest and an investment in your health and well-being. So we just get it done. But that might not be for you. It might be for when, I don't know, you drop the kids off at school and you've got a little pocket of time there. It might be in your lunch break at work. It might be the transition between work and life. So when you finish work, you do work out and that's your transition. Whatever it is, diarize it, get it written down, put it in your diary. Now that can be for any of the things that we spoke about in your toolkit too. So that long list that I asked you to write down, or the 8 to 10 things that you're going to do, you're going to try. And you could even put the mindful moment in there as well. You know, the 2-minute cup of tea or whatever. You could even put that into there. Diarize it. Put it in your diary. Do this for 30 days. So that might be your workouts you should be doing anyway. If it's a new thing for you, then fine, use that as one of your things. You know, I said only 2 changes. Put 2 things in, put them in your diary, make that appointment with yourself, because you are the most important person you could make an appointment with. You've got to show up for you, just like you're showing up for everyone and everything else. You now need to do that for you. Be kind to you. Treat yourself as you would a friend, a partner, or a child. At the end of the day, you know, you're living in your body and you're living in your mind. You've got to make that a nice place to live. You've got to make that a nice, healthy space to be. And it all just starts with these little steps. 2 things. Go for it. 30 days. What do you say? Anyway, I really hope that this has been useful. And I really hope that this has just given you that little push you needed to start working on you and carving out that you time, navigating some me time in this busy world, even if that is a few box breaths because we're feeling overwhelmed in the moment. Or if it's making that point of, do you know what? Yeah, I am going to get my workouts in. I'm going to get my diary right now. And I think it's all good listening to me saying all this and nodding your head and agreeing, but you've got to put it into action. It's got to be done. So if you haven't already, get your diary out, write down those toolkit things, choose 2 things, and let's do this. Anyway, I just want to say a thank you ever so much for joining me. I really, really hope this has been useful and I really hope it's been helpful. All I want to do is help as many people as I possibly can. So if you found this useful tonight, can you do me a favor? Can you just share this? So as soon as you finish the live, just share it on your socials, because there might be somebody who really, really needs to see this and really, really feels like they're at the bottom of the pile, like at the bottom of the bottom. And this might be the thing that they just need to hear tonight. So if you could do that, that would be amazing. Oh, Rebecca said, I don't think this workshop could have come at a better time. Thank you. Well, I'm really, really pleased you said that. No, thank you so much for joining me. I'm really glad it's been so valuable. Anyway, I will see you if you're coming to class tomorrow, 6:30, 9:30, or 5:30 on the live replay, or of course on demand, whenever suits you, whenever you can fit in that little pocket of time. Anyway, take care, everyone, and I will see you soon. Bye.